We're going to talk a little bit about the WAFL and its importance to the league. I just wanted to give you a little bit of feedback of why we thought this league was really important. There's been a lot of talk, there's been leagues that have come and gone in the past, from the old World League that happened in the 80s and 90s that failed, the USFL, which I think was probably the closest answer to the opportunity that the NFL represented. And there's been a number of other leagues since, from the XFL and so on. What I think what separates the World American Football League from that is the vision and cohesiveness that we bring to the table and what we offer. There's been a softening of professional sports, and the WAFL aims to give football its balls back. No pun intended. We want to be able to make certain that the toughness and the speed of the game is brought so that we can be able to make certain that the opportunities that the NFL has left on the table for us abroad, that we can be able to be the ambassadors to grow American football, a sport we all grew up loving. We want it to be as popular as soccer is overseas, and that's one of the strategies we're going to utilize in order to be able to grow the sport. Sports are about community, so we want to be able to make certain that we give people an opportunity to be able to root for the team they love, with their own tribe, with their own community.
New era in professional football. Played by true gladiators. "32 total franchises, 20 US-based, and another 12 international-based, making the WAFL the first truly global professional football league in the world. The WAFL will grant exclusive American football franchises to top-tier clubs across the Premier League, Saudi Pro League, La Liga, and FIFA-affiliated leagues. These franchises will operate under the WAFL brand, utilize existing club facilities, and market this gladiator brand of pro football directly to an existing fan base of tens of millions of fans. This type of integration with the club's digital, retail, and media platforms will aid in guiding the WAFL to the type of success all of the experts are projecting. The World Bowl. Rewriting the playbook. So let's recap. The World American Football League, WAFL, is a global sports and media platform aiming to expand American football worldwide. Acting as the sport's global ambassador, WAFL will grow the game through international franchises, strategic partnerships, and digital engagement. Through strategic partnerships, this broadcast-ready league offers a flagship event in pro football's very first World Bowl, with U.S. franchises and international franchises, creating a global competitor to the NFL. Look at these key investment highlights. Our launch strategy targets $500 million in initial capital to fund league operations, team infrastructure, media rights, and player recruitment. This disruptive franchise model enjoys a look similar to a premium live golf-style franchise system, with access for sovereign funds, celebrities, and institutional investors. The league enjoys massive revenue potential, which is projected to cross $20 billion in revenue within its first 7 to 10 years through broadcasting, sponsorships, and more. This league will enjoy a global fan base and is built for global scale via soccer partnerships, immersive tech, and localized fan experiences. Powered by nations, clubs, and superstars, the World American Football League is a global, multi-billion-dollar sports and entertainment platform built to rival the NFL and scale internationally. Through our 32 projected franchises, the WAFL offers a dynamic ownership model, premier media rights structure, and player participation in league equity. This first-mover franchise model offers equity for nations, clubs, and ministries to boost local buy-in and loyalty. The goal of elite soccer franchises integration allows top FIFA clubs with built-in stadiums and fans, provides a global talent playbook with attractive deals for elite players with equity, branding, and coaching paths, creating a World Bowl platform, rotating global championship built to rival and surpass the Super Bowl. This market opportunity, Global Sports Alpha, presents an untapped global demand. The NFL has driven interest abroad, but no international league or franchises exist. Our league is global by design. You see, the WAFL is structured from inception as a cross-border, international league, with growth markets such as Africa, South America, and Asia to name a few. The WAFL offers a vast upside, aspirational fan bases, minimal competition. Our cross-platform offers fan gamification, youth leagues, and merchandising drive engagement. We offer global vision ownership without borders. The WAFL is structured to extend ownership of a global league to sovereign wealth funds, ministries of sport, global sports conglomerates, and club owners in non-US markets. Our goal is to establish American football as a global sport, backed by the financial and institutional weight of global partners. A global media reach offering WAFL games streamed live across continents for worldwide exposure. The WAFL will grant exclusive American football franchises to top-tier clubs across the Premier League, Saudi Pro League, La Liga, and FIFA-affiliated leagues. These franchises will operate under the WAFL brand, utilize existing club facilities, market directly to existing fan bases of tens of millions, integrate with the club's digital, retail, and media platforms. With global sports partnerships, sports alliances, and regional franchise partnerships in Middle East, Europe, Americas, Asia, Africa, Oceania. The WAFL is structured for global expansion, competitive entertainment, and high-performance operations across professional sports, media, and infrastructure. The operational framework is designed to execute daily league functions, talent acquisition, media engagement, and commercial growth. Production strategy, mobile production trucks for high-quality live sports broadcasting, sponsorship activation, college network access, and student engagement. WAFL is exploring a strategic partnership with the NCAA to integrate college infrastructure, fan bases, and athletic ecosystems into its franchise model. NCAA universities could own WAFL franchises or host team operations, creating a strong and sustainable pipeline between college and professional football. The WAFL offers a rare chance to build a global football league blending elite infrastructure, immersive entertainment, and groundbreaking ownership models to rival and surpass the NFL. The WAFL's franchise model drives global growth by uniting elite sports, digital content, and strategic capital. The WAFL is more than a league. It's a next-gen sports, media, and culture platform for global fans, taking pride in creating global-scale execution. The WAFL pairs elite leadership with top media and tech partners to launch at a world-class league level. There is not enough time to explain everything that the World American Football League offers in this video. For exact details, contact Chairman and CEO Atonn Mohammed directly.
There it is, everybody. The World American Football League. Now I want y'all to be able to give it up for one of the baddest men that ever put on cleats. The icon, the legend, Mr. Gary Clark.
Just want to thank everybody for coming out today. I'm truly excited about this league. What I like about it is it's a league built on former professional athletes. We're excited to bring a female head coach who's a 20-year professional football player, still playing professional football, quite honestly. I'm a little jealous that she's on, what you going, like the 21st year and only got to play 11. So she's already doubled what I was able to do. We believe in making history. And that's what we're going to do with this league. No league standing now has all head coaches that are former NFL legends or professional football players in Loris Cook's case. But players truly understand the game. Don't get me wrong, we got great coaches in the NFL, 100%. Joe Gibbs is one of the best coaches I ever had a chance to play for. I was able to learn from this great strategist in the whole 9 yards. Charlie Taylor, one of the best receivers in NFL history, if not the best, quite honestly, in NFL history. Got to coach me. I got to learn so much from Charlie Taylor because he played my position. And when he retired from playing football, he was the #1 NFL receiver in history. So I got to learn a lot from him. Now, Jack Burns was also a receiver coach for me. Jack didn't teach me too much, though. Jack would never play the game at that level. A lot of times, it'd be like me saying that I'm going to be one of the best financial bankers in the world just because I got a bank account. That's not going to be true. That's not going to happen. So what I like about this league is it's going to be built by former players who understand the game. The head coaches will have opportunity to pick whatever coaches they want. The gentleman here, you see here in the audience right now, some want to be head coaches, some don't want to be head coaches. But because Raven Caldwell scares me, he can be whatever he wants to be. This league is going to be special. It's going to be spectacular. Basically, we're taking the mindset of the United States Football League. The United States Football League completely changed the game for the National Football League, especially when it came to players. When I first came into the NFL, Art Monk, who I was considered one of the best receivers in NFL history, only have him behind Charlie Taylor and Bobby Mitchell. The Art Monk is, in our generation of players, spectacularly the best wide receiver I've ever seen in my life. But the USFL was getting all the top college players, and that's what we're going to do with the WAFL. We're going to take the top college players, we're going to get those college players. That's what the USFL did. The reason that the USFL failed is because they didn't have enough money behind it. But it completely changed the structure for NFL. When I came into the league, Art Monk was going into either his 4th or 5th year. He was scheduled to make $80,000. Because of the USFL, Art went from making $80,000 to $500,000. The other receivers playing behind Art Monk at the time, they had a 3-year contract, $30,000, $35,000, $40,000 was their contract. I'm a USFL player coming over. My signing bonus was $100,000. That already surpassed what they made for their 3 years, and they were good football players. They were good receivers, you know. Art Monk's definitely the best receiver in our time span that ever played the game. But he's only scheduled to make $80,000. My starting salary with Washington was $100,000. So Art, he definitely was going to sit out if they didn't pay him. And Art, of course, went from, again, $80,000 to $500,000. So what's going to happen with the league now? Our players automatically, whether you're a rookie or you're a veteran, you're going to look at 20 to 25% higher salaries than they're paying in the NFL. We're also smart. For our head coaches that come in, we're going to guarantee their salaries for 3 years. They're going to start off with a salary of $250,000. They'll get next year, they're going to have a $150,000 addition to that, brings them to $400,000. And then the next year, they'll make another additional $150,000, so they'll bring them up to $550,000 for that thing, guaranteed contract, not counting incentives. The way the game will be played will be the way it was played in the 80s and 90s. Don't get me wrong. From a health standpoint, the players today, it's a safer game because basically you don't get hit anymore. I appreciate it being safer for the players, but I'm just not cut out of that cloth. So I believe in the reason why only 1% of the population can play that sport is because fear factor is a part of playing that game. Defense's job is to intimidate offensive players. Now, if I'm a receiver and Raven Caldwell was a linebacker, Clarence Vaughn was a strong safety, although he looks like a linebacker today. But I'm trying to run away from those guys. I'm trying to make those guys miss. I'm not trying to be a receiver that's running through those guys. Today's receivers, they run through linebackers. They don't try to necessarily avoid them just because linebackers don't know how to tackle anymore. Because in practice, they don't practice tackling anymore. I want the league to be exciting the way it was back when we played. I know it will be. I want it to overtake soccer as being the worldwide sport, because right now soccer is the most popular sport in the world. I want football to take that away from soccer, to be quite honest. That's why we're going to have 12 international cities that we play in. The World American Football League is going to be off the chain. I'm a blue-collar boy. I want to thank Atonn for allowing me the opportunity to be a part of this. Again, I'm blue-collar. I kind of talk from the hip. I'm being really good right now. There's been no curse words coming out of my mouth at all. So that's a good thing. I'm being very polite like I should be. But football is a fun game. It's an aggressive game. And it means to be who's the best player. As a defensive player, Clarence Vaughn's job is to destroy me. As an offensive player, my job is to make Clarence Vaughn look like an idiot. That's the best part about the game. That's why it's exciting. That's why people watched it back in the day. And that's what the World American Football League is going to be about. We also love the part about it is ownership. Each coach will have a 1% ownership. Each head coach, Raven, head coach, will have a 1% ownership in the team. That's strong. And don't get me wrong, the best part about the USFL, what made that team, what made that league so special, and the players in that league so special, they were getting the best college players, but they had NFL veterans on those teams that had left the NFL to come play in the USFL, that got to mentor us as rookies coming into the game. It made us better players. So by the time I left Jacksonville, because I was a USFL player, I got drafted by the USFL and I got drafted in a supplemental draft by the NFL. But I went to the USFL first. And I'm so glad that I did, because I got to go and learn from players who had played in the NFL what that would be like. You know, coming out of college. College is a completely different game than professional football. That's what a lot of people don't know. You can be a great college football player, but once you get into the National Football League, everybody was a great college football player. Everybody was the best at their position on their team. But now it separates. And if you don't learn, like, almost like football, in football terms, it's like being a stockbroker, but in football terms. If you don't learn quickly, you're going to be out of the league. Average lifespan is already only 3 years. 3 years for an NFL player. You don't get your benefits till your 4th year. It tells you what it is. So if you're not intelligent about the game, if you don't learn from the game, and if you don't have people to mentor you in the game, you won't be in the league too long. Don't get me wrong. Skills, a lot of it. Talents, a lot of it as well. But you also got to be able to listen, having great teachers. Even when I came to Washington, Doc was one of my mentors when I got there. Don't get me wrong, he made me carry his laundry and everything as a rookie. I had to go get him sodas and stuff out of my pocket, money out of my pocket. But you learn from those people in those league. And what we're going to do in this league is just going to be spectacular. It truly will be eventually the best league in the world. That's why we will have a World Bowl. Instead of a Super Bowl, we'll have a World Bowl. Don't get me wrong, the NFL will always be a great league, because it's the NFL, period. It will always be one of the top leagues in the country, but one of the top leagues. We will surpass it. We will surpass it, because we will get all the top college players. And with Atonn's leadership, we're starting with kids when they're in high school through the NIL program. When they're in high school, we get inside the household at a very early age. And everybody knows the most important thing is making sure mom and dad likes you. Mom and dad likes you. That's the most important thing, because that's where they're going to go to college. If you had that, when you're college being recruited for college, the person comes to your household and mom and dad doesn't smile when they leave, you're not going to that college. You're just not. And today's players, I mean, come on. If you're really, really good high school player, to go to college, get good NIL money. you may make $1 million to go play at that school. And so we want to be able to capture these athletes at an early age, so when it comes time to have a draft, they already know who we are, and we're smart. Lance, stand up for a second. Lance is a sports agent, right? He has a sports agency. With our sports agency, he will, now everybody may not go to A Sports, but they'll have a parent or have somebody to talk to understand what an agent is supposed to do, how they're supposed to treat their son or daughter, because that's the next thing too. We hope to have female field goals kickers starting out, because as you can tell, the game is about it. I got a feeling that Lois's team may be all female coaches too, at the end of the day. I got a feeling that's what it might be. But most agents in the NFL, it's 3%, Lance, that's what it is, 3%. 3% is what an agent's going to make. In our league, the most an agent could make is going to be 2% to 2.5%. They're not going to take advantage of that player anymore. They're going to educate that player and make sure that that player, when they're retired, that player knows what they're retiring for, and they have something to retire with. It wasn't that way in the NFL. Just a lot of guys. First of all, we didn't make a lot of money to start with. And then when we did make, we come into the league, and I'm the first person to talk about it. I thought I was going to play forever. I played 11 years. I didn't play forever. I only played 11 years, right? But most players come in thinking they're going to play forever, and they don't. They play for less than 4 years. They play for around 3 years, and then they're out, and they have nothing to do. And a lot of the guys had already spent their money. So we're going to make sure that doesn't happen. And we're going to make sure that we start getting some of the top-tier NFL players as well. Why? Because we're going to offer them things that the NFL just doesn't offer. Like, perfect example. I'm a big fan of Terry McLaurin, huge fan of Terry McLaurin. And at some point in time, once the league is up and running, definitely, besides offering Terry a contract, he may offer him a contract, we may not offer him a contract, right? But I'm still going to offer him stock in our league, because I can still get the player involved by giving, again, 1% ownership in the team that wants him, whether he played for us or not. We get access to him. And roles come with that access. 1%, he might not be playing for us, but he's going to be educating the other players that are there. Because again, I needed that veteran education when I was playing. That's why when I came to Washington, I played in the USFL for 1.5 years. By the time I came to Washington, I was a rookie, but I wasn't a rookie anymore. I already knew what to expect. I already knew what to look for. I already knew how to handle myself. You know, and by the 5th game, I was starting, because I had that knowledge going into the USFL first. I had a feeling if I went to the NFL first, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't be starting after my 5th game, because I'd had to learn all over. The USFL gave me knowledge. Our league would be one of the best leagues in the world. It just really, truly will be. And I'm excited to be a part of it. Atonn, thank you again for allowing me to be a part of it. And I cannot wait to take this league to the next level, because I'm in charge of finding the head coaches for those 20 American cities, the 12 international cities. That's my job. And I'm going to make sure that the people that are selected, they can coach, they understand the game, and they're going to take care of their players, 100%. And I'm very fortunate, because I got a crew of guys. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm going to take care of my own starting out, because I already know what Clarence Vaughn can do. I already know what Darryl Grant can do. I already know what Rick Doc Barker can do. I already know what John Booty can do. I already know what they can do. I already have that expertise. I already know. Well, John played for the Eagles, though, so that's not good. And he thinks he's pretty, so he's a pretty boy to play for the Eagles. But our league is going to be spectacular, and I can't say it enough. I'm so excited to be a part of this. I'm so excited that I had an opportunity to sit down with Atonn. We was talking about the NBA basketball before we even came up with the concept. We was talking about the Boston Celtics, you know. Yeah. And the next thing I know, this conversation, I just made one comment to this gentleman, and about 3 weeks later, I had a whole proposal in front of my face of what was going on. But again, thank you for coming out. If you guys have any questions for me, I'll be Be happy to answer any questions you have. Atonn, again, thank you a lot for allowing me to be up here right now. I'm going to turn it back over to Atonn.
Up there, I want you to bring the callers back up. There's a couple more things we want to address. And, I was talking with Mr. Rick Doc Walker, the legend, the great one, when we were, watching the Capitals game. And, the brother got a lot of jewels that he shared. And one of the things that I think is most important is being able to clarify about what we're going to bring to the table on the financial front. We've engaged Greenstone Equity, which is a premier investment bank representing us with the Middle East. These guys have handled multi-billion-dollar transactions for a number of the top leading private equity firms and institutions, and they're considered to be the Goldman Sachs in the Middle East, and we're fortunate that they are representing us in regards to being able to build this league. We already put onto the table that we're looking at being able to have a league budget at its peak at about $20 billion. And we want to be able to kind of follow the Live Golf model to be able to make certain we can be able to access premium players. And the region is waiting for the opportunity to be able to have ownership, legit ownership in a global franchise system that we're creating. So this is a chance to be able to get in on the ground floor. We're going to do something that's a little different. We're calling it democratization of ownership. So we're going to have a round where fans can be able to own a percentage of the league. For as little as $1,000 blocks, we're going to do a fan offering, just like the Green Bay Packers did with the NFL. But this model will be both for the league and for the 32 franchise opportunities so that the fans can be able to literally have ownership in the team that they cheer for. So let's give a round of applause for that. That's big. And one thing that I think is important is diversity and ownership. The NFL has been an old boys network for many years. And let's be honest, I played ball for the Miami Hurricanes. Every guy who ever strapped on cleats wanted to play for the NFL, Some of the men here were blessed and fortunate enough to do that. So we'll be ever grateful for the opportunity that NFL has given for athletes to be able to shine and to give people dreams to strive for. But we're expanding the bar. Yes, the NFL dominates the United States, but this is a big world outside of the borders of the United States. And we are looking at being able to build a platform through partnership with FIFA, which produces the World Cup. We are exploring relationships with the top tier soccer leagues and allowing them to, put their jerseys on top of a pair of helmet and shoulder pads and allow their fans to root for teams that they've already been rooting for years, and give them an opportunity for once to be able to enjoy what we all know, that American football is one of the best sports on the planet. And we are going to be one of the best leagues ever to do it on the planet. And with Gary's vision, his strength, and his leadership, one of those franchises is going to be right here in Washington, D.C., and we're looking to bring the Redskins back to Washington, D.C. as a name. I know I had thought about whether or not I was going to say that or not, but I said, what the hell? They gave it up, but it's something, it means more than just what some people have attached to, some of the negative connotations. To me, it represented me spending time with my family and my loved ones. It's a legacy that was attached to it that doesn't go away. And we come to the equation not with maybe some of the principles of the previous ownership of those brands. We're coming with an altruistic aspect and viewpoint. We want to be able to give back to the communities that we serve. We want to be able to make certain that the Native American community has a seat at the table in our new organization, as well as the fans and the communities that love us. So we're going to say it out loud and proud. And I did check the trademarks the NFL or the Redskins, or the Commanders organization no longer has claims to it, so it's open. So we're going to explore to see what the possibilities are there. But more importantly, we're going to explore the opportunities of bringing in the best athletes the world has to offer and delivering a caliber of game that hasn't been seen before in the entire planet. That's the World American Football League. So ladies and gentlemen, I want you to give us a round of applause for that. Come on. There's a group. By the way, Mr. Roy Jones, who was supposed to be in attendance today, sends his apologies. He had a mishap with travel, with the plane situations. I wonder, because TSA not getting paid right now. I don't know if that's it, but he couldn't get here today. But he extends his apologies, and he'll be open for interviews in the future for anybody who may want to be able to talk about his involvement. We do have some gentlemen here that can be able to speak to their involvement with the knockout fights opportunity. This is our entryway into the combat sports arm. It's seen an insurgence of growth over the past 5 or 6 years, especially with influencers now kind of dominating the space. People like Jake Paul and so on have come in and taken over in a lot of ways, and there's a lot of interesting opportunities now with Turkey Al Sheikh in the boxing community. We're throwing our hat in the ring. We got some support coming in from some of our backers abroad who are interested in being able to allow us to put on some of the fights that current administrations couldn't bring about. And we got a team lined up with Sports World Network ready to do that. I'm gonna let Roberto and Repo come in and talk. Roberto, you can start us off. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you guys bring to the table.
Well, thank you very much, Atonn. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk to the crowd here. I'm sorry that Roy Jones was unable to make it, because unfortunately now that means that you're stuck listening to me. But to give you a little bit about my background, I've spent most of my life being told that this is not possible or that this will never work. Everything from when we were beginning to send video over fiber optics and when we were launching the Univision Sports, Univision, the network, and there was one of the sports department when there were only 5 people in it. And we were being told that a Spanish language television's network would never work in the United States. And then fast forward to when we were building out the Los Angeles Fox television affiliate station, and we were being told that the 4th television network would never work in the United States. And then fast forward again to when I was executive producing the Oscars for E! Entertainment, and was being told that replacing the satellite truck with fiber optic with a briefcase size switcher for fiber optics would also never work, and helping America get accustomed to this wonderful new presenter named Joan Rivers that became the queen of the red carpet. So I've been told it'll never work most of my life. I've spent most of my life a few years ahead of, in fact, I was told by Mitchell Stern, the president of Fox television stations many years ago, that I had a tendency to live several years in the future. And frankly, I'm proud of that. So I have an excellent team. We are producers. At one point or another, when the lofty conversations are over, somebody has to sit down and make the sausages. That's who we are. I've personally produced well over 10,000 hours of network broadcast television. My team has produced even more. Repo, who you're going to meet in a minute, is the catalyst that made all of this work. I'm this current CEO of City Fight Nights. The concept behind City Fight Nights is to unite, is to bring to the attention of audiences the people that you don't see. You currently only see the top 1%, 1.5% of boxing, and this is true of most sports. But there's another 98.5% that are struggling to make their way up to the title of world champion. And that's our job, is to introduce you to those people, the people who will become the next world champions, and you can meet them at the beginning of their career. And where City Fight Nights is based on the concept that every champion has a hometown, which is why we base each one of our regional broadcasts, live stream broadcasts in specific cities, which we then marry to an e-commerce platform, because of course, on your way up to becoming a world champion, you still have to buy some gear. And if you're a soccer mom, you need a place where you can go and get the equipment that you need for your kids. This helps support the live streams and brings the prices down to where it's affordable for your average viewer to be able to watch as much as they like without breaking their pocketbook. And this project was born when Repo Rick walked into my office a few years ago and asked me if I could live stream boxing. Had just turned down an opportunity to take over as head of production for a very well-known television network, sports television network, and during the course of our interviews discovered that they were very much living in the 1990s, and I won't give out their name, but it didn't happen, and I'm glad, because that allowed me to meet Repo, whom I'll introduce here in a minute. When he asked me if we could live stream boxing, I explained to him that, yeah, we'd built a platform. It was fully operational with a reach of over 395 million people, and that we would be more than happy to carry the live streams. That is now City Fight Nights, and we are currently, through another one of my associates who couldn't be here today, conducting live stream fights in Monterrey and Cancun, Mexico. We're expanding this to Tijuana and then bringing it to the United States, Istanbul, Paris, Berlin, keep going. Every city has a champion, and we're going to find all of them. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Repo Rick so that he can explain to all of you just exactly what his purpose is in this madness. And thank you very much, Atonn. Thank you for the opportunity to address the audience, and thank you, all of you, for being here. Repo, you want to say a few minutes?
Yes.
You want to say a few words?
Yes. Hello, how you doing? My name is Repo Rick, but in the business world, my name is Joseph Ricardo Steve, aka Repo Rick. Nobody in boxing knows my name. They only knows Repo Rick. In boxing, if you don't know Repo Rick, you don't know boxing. And that's the theory of me. You don't know Repo Rick, you don't know boxing. So I work for every promoter out there, except the two new promoters. What's the name? Eddie Hearns. I don't know Eddie. I mean, I know Eddie Hearns. I didn't work for him. And then the new guy from Turkey. I don't know. I never worked for him. But other than that, I work for every promoter. I did some work for Roy Jones Jr. Currently, I really kind of work for Floyd Mayweather right now, but he's on hold. He's waiting on TV. So I work for every promoter out there. I did everything from matchmaking to promoting to manager to sweeping the floor, sweeping the boxing ring, picking up the spit off the ground. I did it all. I am the first promoter that did bare knuckle boxing in Mexico. Mexico was illegal to do bare knuckle boxing, so 2 years ago I was the first one to do it. My company is called WDA, Whoop That Ass Promotion. That's the name of my company, WDA, Whoop That Ass Promotion. So anything you need in boxing, you call Repo Rick. Ask Roy Jones, he'll tell you that. So I can do anything in boxing. I'm ready to go to work. I'm ready to put it together. I can put any kind of fight together. Anything you need, you call me for boxing. I can make it happen. Everybody in boxing knows, just call Repo Rick, he'll make it happen. He'll make a miracle. So I appreciate meeting you guys. I'm just waiting for you guys to give me a phone call, put me to work. I'm ready to go to work. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Give Repo Rick Whoop Ass Fight Promotions. I want to be a part of that one.
Whoop that ass.
Okay, on behalf of Atonn Blacksun Sports, on behalf of Gary Clark and the NFL legends who have all been gracious enough to attend and give us your time, I want to thank you for coming out. We look forward to working with you all and you all following us with the World American Football League. And as you exit, some of you will be asked for interviews, particularly our NFL legends. So please, if you don't mind sticking around just for a few minutes longer. Thank you again, and we're going to wrap it up from here. Thank you so much for coming.
Tell us what you think about the presentation.
Well, for me, it's exciting just to be able to work alongside of Raven Caldwell. A guy who, I grew up watching him. And it's a real thrill to be with any group of guys that I played with, worked with, about football, about character people to see growth. And it's always saddened to me that ultimate ownership heights in the National Football League have not been met at a standard that I've expected it to be. So for all people. And so I think exclusion is something I've never been into. I want to be involved in something that has growth potential, that expands its base, and gives this great game another shot. Because there's all kind of ways to get a job done. So this is entry, but I'm encouraged by it because it's my only opportunity to be a part of something new, that's exciting, that has potential.
I thought the presentation was great. A lot of information on what's going on in the future. I'm very excited to see what's to come forward.
Tonight's presentation is very encouraging. It's very promising. Getting back to old school level of play and getting the NFL legends, guys who play on the field, involved as coaches, as administrators, or equity. That's what it's all about. Using our knowledge, our brand, as far as being on the field. I played 8 years in the National Football League, so I can bring that 8 years of multiple teams that I played for to this league. So things like that, inclusiveness, innovation, getting back to the wear and tear of the body and the toughness of the game, getting back to that, which is really, really, well, it's going on now, but we know about how things can be, how it was back in the yesteryear.
I think it was outstanding. It was very informative, and the prospects are very high right now. I like everything that I saw, and I think it's going to be refreshing trying to get this going and get some young folks involved, and I think it'll be great. I think it's going to be great.
Well, I was very impressed. I mean, just to look up there on the screen and see the powerhouse people you had behind you and the presentation itself, it was just, I think this league is going to be able to soar and go somewhere,
The presentation was amazing for the WAFL. I left here today super excited. I felt like I was already encompassed with this league and already inside of it. The amount of people who were speaking about it, the alignment of the leadership was phenomenal. I couldn't ask for anything better. And so it's just very exciting. It was very informative and something super exciting to look forward to.
I think the WAFL it's going to be a groundbreaking league, not just for the sport of American football, but for the globe. Having international players given the opportunity to play American football against some of the best players in the world is monumental. And what the WAFL is going to do with giving the opportunity for players to have equity in the teams, the opportunity for former players to come in and coach and mentor, it's something that's unprecedented when it comes to professional sports. It's really about giving the clients options, having the opportunity for these clients to play in the UFL, the WAFL, or the NFL, the CFL, the EuroLeague, EFL. You're giving players so many avenues to continue to showcase their talents beyond the college game, to build something special for their families and generations to come, and make a lasting impact on their communities. And with the revenue model that the WAFL is presenting to these players, it's something that's going to be able to really draw the players away from the NFL. We'll take them away from the NFL if we need to.
There's been a lot of talk specifically in regards to the Sanders family and how they were treated.
Oh, yeah.
And there's opportunities. They demonstrated the fact that, you have legacy players like Mr. Sanders, who has created, an imprint for himself outside of the NFL. Mm-hmm. And I think really the league owes him and his family better. That's my personal opinion. This opportunity is opening up doors for everybody who was excluded or prevented from being able to rise as high as they can go. We're given some new opportunities to make that happen.
But key is, forget the top college athletes, the top college football players out of college. Same what the USFL did. It's the perfect model.
Yep.
The key is they just didn't have enough money to fund it. If they had enough money to fund it, they would have surpassed the NFL. They would have, because this is what happened. They was getting all the top college players coming to the USFL. And then they brought in all the veteran players from the NFL. Because when I came in, NFL players were teaching me the position. They was teaching me what to do.
That's right.
You know, how to go about doing stuff. You know, I mean, out in Alexis, because I was, you know, in college, you know, it's college. In college, so I'm running my routes, I'm running my out route, so I'm doing like, oh, my leg, I'm feeling all fancy with it. And then Alton was like, dude, you know, when you do that, that's telling the defensive back you're stopping. So my first, and I didn't think anything about it when he first told me that. I was like, what do you know? He's like, I'm first round pick. What do you know? You know, that's why I'm looking at it, right? So dang, my first like 2 days of practice, I'm getting shut down. Like, I'm getting shut down. I'm like, what the heck? And then he came and told me, he said, all right, Big Bird. That's what he called me. All right, Big Bird. They clapping those wings. So I took that information that he gave me, and then the third day of practice, I come out, I run in an out route, right? Like, so I come up, I do that thing. They break on, I run out and up. I start taking that information that I learned from the veteran player and started utilizing it against the defensive back. So then they had no clue what I was going to do then. So by the week of practice, I was like, that's why I'm first round pick.
Wow.
Because you're taking information, but those veterans taught me that. Veterans taught me. So imagine a league where you get the top rookies that come out of college, and you got veterans that come in to teach these rookies how to play the game, because they already have the information, they already have the knowledge that you need at the top level that we didn't have.
That's right.
And that becomes strong because we will be getting veteran NFL players to come over to the league.